This is a picture of my immediate family, the most recent one from just a couple years ago. And to me, it's significant because it shows all the different generations of my immediate family, um, all in one place. We have the original generation, which is my parents, my dad, my mom right there, to the first generation, which is my sister, my brother, myself, and my other sister, to the second generation, which is all my nieces and nephews right here. And it is just significant to me just because it shows the progression and it shows the difference in our culture and just how we may not be in the same country as my parents, but that we're trying to find our way in America and try to find out what it means to be Vietnamese and American at the same time. And in some cases, Vietnamese and Korean and American and Vietnamese and Caucasian and American and Vietnamese and Filipino and American. So it shows the drastic changes that are kind of happening in my family, but also how we're all trying to stay together and stay relevant with our, Vietnamese history. And it's interesting to see how the kids are growing up and just how different it was from even when me and my siblings grew up. And I'm sure it's much different than how my parents grew up. But, with each generation, I feel like we keep the same basic traditions and principles, which is family, um, supporting each other, uh, having faith in one another, to starting to kind of bring in some American values as well. For example, my brother actually is the only person who didn't marry an Asian person, and that I know back in Vietnam would have been much different than it was here. And my parents have become a lot more open and understanding about marrying outside the race, and I feel like they feel the same way about my brother's kids than my sister's kids. There's no preferential treatment. There's no difference because they are more mixed in their race. Um, and I believe that's more of an American aspect to it, but still, um, we retain the Vietnamese part, which is family is family. Um, it the picture reflects my personal identity mostly through just knowing that I am a part of this family, that um, I am one of many people that make up this family, and the impact I have on my siblings and my parents is different than the impact I have on my nieces and nephews. And it's always been important to me to be active and be supportive for everyone. Um, and I do it at different levels. For my nieces and nephews, I try to be as supportive as possible. I try to be as understanding as possible. Um, whatever they need me to be. Versus I have my place in, my siblings where I'm the youngest one, and I'm always working to try to fill that role. Um, I'm the one that, most actively interacts with my parents and does my best to take care of them. And, all my brothers and sisters support me. Um, and the last reason this picture is important to me is because we all live in different places. My sister and her family, my oldest sister, so this one, lives in Hawaii. So I don't see them very often. And they did originally live in Oregon as well. So I got to see them a lot more when they were younger. And my other sister lives in LA. So it's very rare that we're all together in one place and that we all get to spend time together. So, it's this reason plus everything I mentioned before that make this picture important to me. And I'm excited to see how the next picture turns out.